So by now we all know about the Switch 2 and it's been leaked online. Well, not exactly leaked, but the prototype prints are out there. They've been leaked by the case manufacturers, and from there people are able to come up with a pretty accurate representation and visual, and in some cases 3D printout of what the Switch 2 is actually going to look like. And it mostly looks the same, with one new button labeled C on the right Joy-Con, and no one really knows what it is. Last episode I theorized that this is a cast button, so not only can you conveniently cast your screen from the Switch to the TV with a button without having to get up and dock your Switch, but once you do that, the screen stays on the Switch, and that's also able to act as like a second screen with a basic UI elements. Or Nintendo could go even further and build games that really take into account this second screen, but also don't rely on it. But that was my theory, and today we're going to go through all the other theories online about what this C button actually is. So the first one is, I don't think it's chat, cast, or a social feature, because I think if it was, it would likely have a different icon. I think it's a calibration button for an unknown gimmick. I can definitely see a new gimmick on this console, but a whole button around it just for calibrating, I really don't think so. This is something even Nintendo would hide in settings. We've always been able to calibrate stuff, especially with motion sensors, so to have a button for this, I honestly can't see it happening at all. Especially only on one Joy-Con. If this was like something to do with motion and calibration, why would it be only available on one Joy-Con? That's a bit strange to me. The second theory is that the C button doesn't just stand for one thing, it stands for multiple things like chat, camera, cast, connect. And I can actually see this one becoming true. So basically this whole theory is just about how Nintendo are simplifying and merging all their ways to connect with people. So with a click of a button you can connect with people, chat with them, hopefully we can finally have party chats. Nintendo haven't been doing that for so long, and I think the only reason is because of their demographic, but now that most Nintendo fans are older, maybe they'll understand and easily introduce mics and chats online with people with a click of a button, and you don't need to get this stupid app that no one wants to use. I can definitely see this being a thing, especially with the whole, oh, it doesn't just stand for one thing, it's loads of different things. That's a very weird thing to do, but it's also a very Nintendo thing to do. Will it be confusing in marketing? Probably. But would Nintendo do it? Absolutely, I can see that happening, 100%. The next is camera, clip and capture, which a lot of people are saying this, especially the capture part, so I just don't think this makes any sense. The Switch has a capture button. You press it to take a screenshot, you hold it to record a video. You don't need a second one. Even if you were recording longer gameplay, surely that would just be a thing in the settings and not a whole new button. You have to consider with this new button, this has to be something players would use ideally pretty much every time they play the Switch. Why would you need a second capture button just for longer gameplay? You change that in the settings, it doesn't really make sense. However, the camera, I can see that being a thing. Nintendo on most of their devices, on the Wii U and the 3DS has a camera. Why does the Switch not have a camera? I can see it being a possibility. Although the only annoying thing with this is, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I just don't care about a camera. I feel like a lot of people say they care about a camera and they would love to see a new camera on the Switch too, but we all have mobile phones. Why are we pretending this is cool? We would probably use it once and never again, unless it was, like this user is saying, incremented in the whole Connect. So not only do you have a camera, but you can instantly use it to talk to your friends online. Can I see Nintendo doing that though, and being able to access that camera that easily, especially with kids? Maybe not. The next one is a chat or community button, and this is very similar. I think in an ideal world, yes, and we just get rid of that app and everything's smoothly integrated, but again, just with the audience of the Switch 2, I don't see this one. And the next theory about this button is that it's actually a button to open some more advanced settings for the Switch when playing games. So for example, maybe limiting the frame rate on certain games, and maybe you want to limit or upgrade how high quality it looks, especially for handheld mode, where maybe you want to downgrade the quality of the game just so it runs a bit smoother. We saw that with Breath of the Wild, where in certain areas of the map the game just ran so slowly in handheld mode. And the Steam Deck's already doing this. It has a really cool button that can do this and opens up so many different options for the player, including like stuff like frame rate, so you can visually see what frame rate your game's running on. And I think this is a cool idea, but I just don't think it's a Nintendo thing. You got to remember, a lot of kids don't even know what frame rate means, or care about it. And I mean, since when has Nintendo ever cared about these advanced features. We still don't have 4K even on the Switch OLED, and it's rumoured we won't even have 4K on this Switch 2, so I'm really not sure about this. As much as it would be, really cool, I just don't see them doing this. The next theory, the C button, is a calculator, so you can figure out how many crops exactly you need to buy in Stardew Valley. I really would appreciate that. Someone else talks about that they don't think it's capable, or Nintendo aren't capable of streaming the Switch device to the TV without a delay. I gotta disagree on this one. Even though, we had the PS5, what is that thing called? The portable PS5 portable? I don't even know, which shows how bad it was on launch. Apparently it's a lot better now, but there was a lot of delay with that, even though people were using high internet connections and they were right next to their PS5. But we see a lot of other devices being able to do this so easily, just like mobile phones. You can easily stream games to your phone from your console, so I don't think this is necessarily going to be a problem, but it's one people are talking about. I think Nintendo could easily find a way around this, and I don't think they would put out a product that couldn't do this smoothly. Another theory about this whole C button is we've got this C button from the manufacturers of Nintendo, and they've sent those to the manufacturers of the cases, and the whole theory is it's just either a symbol or it's a placeholder for something else for those manufacturers, maybe so they don't get leaked. So who knows, maybe that could have worked. The only thing with this is, even if it's not C and it doesn't stand for something beginning with C, there is no reason why you would have that extra button. I mean, it's just as important if it was a symbol, if it was a picture, no matter what it is, if it stands for C or not. This is big. Nintendo and most game companies know you need to strip back buttons on a device. You need to make these things as simple as possible for any users, especially kids. So why, whether it says C or not, do we have an extra button? I just think any of these theories could also apply, even if, the button doesn't say C. It just opens up more possibilities of what this button could be and doesn't limit us to something that begins with C. But still, I think even if it stands for something else, this is going to be big and still possibly the main selling point of the Switch 2. Someone points out that the C button is almost definitely not related to engaging and disengaging the magnets to remove Joy-Cons. So if you don't know, the Joy-Cons are apparently going to be magnetic now, and some people are saying, well, maybe the button's got something to do with that. So, safety is involved, so kids can't easily break this device. And I think this user, many of us, me included, think that this isn't true, because hopefully Nintendo will make it a lot easier than that. And also, why would you have the button on only one Joy-Con? That just simply doesn't make sense. Another person saying the C button is just a capture button. Again, there's no way. I will eat my shorts if this is a thing. And this is actually a cigarette button. Miyamoto demanded that on the Switch 2, it has the great capability to dispense a cigarette at the push of a button. I think this is the most likely, to be honest. I can't see this not happening. Another person says they think this button could be used as a chat button for a new party system. I really, after reading all these, just think it's most likely this is the case. And I really want that. That would be so cool for Nintendo to finally, focus on multiplayer. They've got this whole system where you can switch and hand out Joy-Cons and everyone only needs one to play, and it's so easy to integrate a large group of people into one game, so why would we not want this or have this? So those are the main theories circling online about the C button. Let me know if you think any of them have validation, or if you agree with any in particular, or if you think none of them are right and you have your own opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and subscribe.